What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you a video discussing the rumor that Drake Maye could be falling in this year's draft. Let's talk about it, guys. But before we get into it, comment down below. Give me your favorite quarterback prospect in this year's class. You can tell me why if you want to. Go in detail. I'll definitely respond. And let's get into it, guys. So, as of right now, a lot of people are already reacting to Lance Zierlein's mock draft that came out a day or two ago now. But I've been seeing even prior to that NFL analysts and scouts, anonymous scouts, obviously no one's going to put their name on it really these days, or really never, but anonymous scouts are saying a lot of GMs and people behind the scenes are kind of falling off on the Drake Maye bandwagon for whatever reason. And it's kind of surprising to me. I really chalk it up to just prospect fatigue. Normally prospect fatigue goes to the player who has number one spot. Like a Trevor Lawrence, like a Bryce Young. The last couple years. Normally the player that's been the number one the longest. People tend to overanalyze and poke holes in prospects, stats and tape and stuff like that, and just overanalyze to where a point where they kind of imagine things or just overdo things. And for some reason this year it kind of skipped Caleb Williams and went to the number two prospect in my opinion, and that's Drake Maye. So it's kind of surprising there, but it is what it is. I think when it's all said and done, Drake Maye will be number two, but there is some room for debate. I do understand, with Cliff Kingsbury's offense, his normal offensive scheme. We gotta see what he's does now. He hasn't been an OC in a couple years now, but with a year and change now. So with him calling plays, maybe he changed the system up a little bit. We're not quite sure, but normally he does the air raid. Spreads the defensive out. A lot of receivers. That leaves room for the running back to make plays, to be a playmaker, to run the ball as well. And that offense for the Commanders could possibly fit Jaden Daniels more. No question about it. So he's the more mobile of the two guys between Drake Maye and himself. So Daniels at number two isn't a wild stretch, but I just think Drake Maye is a heck of a player, man. I had him last summer. I did a video breaking down my full detailed thoughts on Caleb Williams versus Drake Maye. And I even said during that video, around this time this year, now a year, did a video during the summer last year. So I said around summer of this year, I wouldn't be surprised if Drake Maye was considered on some people's QB1, some people's board of being QB1. It seems like that was the case prior postseason, immediately after college football season. But now, since people has been a couple months removed from the season, it seems like people are kind of backtracking from that and kind of moving him down on some of their list and some of their boards. So but it all to me, really all due to scheme fit, team fit. With the Cliff Kingsbury being the OC, his style of offense, it does make sense. I'm not gonna lie there, but overall though, looking at Lance Zierlein's mock draft, it does make sense. If Jaden Daniels does go two, there will be a slight slide. Most likely, because I did a video just I think a week or two ago on the rumor of Caleb Williams, not wanting to go to the Bears and maybe the Raiders, maybe moving up to draft Williams, because during that time, just last week, Cliff Kingsbury was reported as being the Raiders offensive coordinator, then somehow fell through the cracks, and he ended up being the Commanders OC a day or two later. So, during that time, I did a video saying maybe the Raiders trade up for him, maybe the Bears want to keep Fields or go a different direction entirely. But obviously, the Cliff Kingsbury thing kind of ruined that. But during that video, I mentioned that, depending on how the board looks, the Patriots might not go quarterback. They might skip over Daniels over Drake Maye. They might go Marvin Harrison. They could go Joe Alt. Then the Cardinals, they're going to reportedly stay with Kyler Murray. So they might go left tackle or right tackle. Well, Olufashanu can play right tackle now, if need be. Or they could go Malik Neighbors. Or if Harrison drops, like I said, if Joe Alt or someone else goes pick 3 to the Patriots, then go Marvin Harrison. So if that's the case, pick 5 being the Chargers, will they trade back? That's a big question as well. I have Brock Bowers going to them at pick 5. They can use a bunch of things. Tight end at Brock Bowers, left tackle, Olufashanu or Joe Alt. They can use a cornerback that's kind of high, for Kool Aid or whoever you have there as a top cornerback, Nate Wiggins or uh, Arnold from the Alabama Crimson Tide. So there's definitely options for the for the Chargers. But do they trade back? You have 6, 7, 8. So there's a bunch of quarterback hungry teams as well. My Falcons, the Vikings, the Raiders, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Saints. So it just depends on how everything shakes out, who wants to be aggressive. But as I said, I think that the main spot, pick 5. What would the Chargers do? And they can definitely probably trade back a pick or 2 or 3 and still get Brock Bowers if they really want him that bad. But like I said, they have so many needs, they might not really care. They might want Brock Bowers, but he's a great addition, but they don't really need him, and that's something that they had to figure out for themselves if the board does shake out and May doesn't go number 2 overall to the Commanders, as I think he might. But looking at Drake Maye's game, 6'4", 230, good size on him. Overall, to me, like I said, a prospect. I have him up there, right up behind Caleb Williams, or right there with him. Depends on how you grade Williams. But for me, he's right there, slightly behind Caleb Williams. I just think his play style, his play style, his upside kind of gives me uh, a more feeling of comfort than Caleb Williams does. Both players tend to play hero ball, but Drake Maye plays in structure, and I've been saying this for a while. Even last year's video, most likely, I figured out that in my opinion, the Bears or the Cardinals would be picking number 1 overall this upcoming season. When I did my video last summer, and my thing was, aren't they tired of improvising quarterbacks? Aren't they tired of Justin Fields? Aren't they going to be tired of Kyler Murray? So they might forego Caleb Williams because he's another improvising quarterback, and they might want a guy that plays in structure like Drake Maye. That was my thinking, but it seems like the greatness of Caleb Williams might just overcome that, and he's going to still, be the number 1 overall guy. But going on some strengths of Caleb Williams, good athletic ability, quick for his size, good speed to threaten defenses as a scrambler and design runner. Another thing is very good arm strength, those with tons of velocity outside the numbers and down the field. And one last thing as well, great accuracy, throws well to all 3 levels and shows flashes of special touch. In that area right there specifically reminds me of a Justin Herbert style player. So that really just reads off to me. Justin Herbert, Junior, Justin Herbert light, and I think most people see that as well in Drake Maye's game. Now on to some negatives. Like I said, the main number 1 overall thing is playing hero ball. He throws some of the stupidest interceptions you've seen, some stupid balls sometimes. Being flat honest, it's just stupid. Like, what are you trying to do? You can't save the day. Just play like you normally play 99% of the time, and play in structure. When you try to improvise, play hero ball, throw it up for grabs, triple, double coverage, and and to be fair, he didn't have that many weapons. His main weapon was Tez Walker, who, albeit had a terrible Senior Bowl, had a very good year with the Carolina Tar Heels. So with him being your main guy, he definitely tried to force the ball to Tez a whole lot. And sometimes it didn't work out, and the other weapons he had as well, he tried to force it in there and some bonehead moves that didn't work out. So, once he figured that out, it might take a couple of years, because I don't expect him to be a perfect prospect right away. Same for Caleb Williams, he's an improviser, throws in the traffic, throws it sidearm, throws a no look, throws it cross body, and that will definitely put you and your teammate, put the ball in harm's way. I do expect a couple turnovers or 2 from both guys. Hopefully they can mature and get the hero ball out of them. But I think, as I said earlier, I think that's more of Williams' game than Drake Maye's game. Yeah, May does it as well, but I think Williams has that more ingrained in his DNA than Drake May does. So that's really my biggest weakness on Drake May. I do have one more written down and pull my notes up real quick. And that last weakness is can struggle to come off his pre-snap read when the picture changes on him post-snap. So basically pre-snap when he reads man and they can coverage and disguise it pretty well, and post-snap you see zone, he gets a little flustered, gets a little happy footed in the backfield and doesn't really know how to read that as of right now, which hopefully will come in time, but as of if those only two things I really have issues with, that's not bad. Playing hero ball and being confused from the pre-snap read, that just takes more time, more study, more film, more film study, more experience, and that also, um, just comes with better offensive coordinators as well. Better ways. Like that's how people love Shanahan's system and not Cal Shanahan. I mean, excuse me, Cal Shanahan's system and Sean McVay's system. Mike McDaniel's system. Those they kind of make you play straight up. They make you show what you're actually running in by motioning guys across the field. If someone follows, man. If someone doesn't, okay, it's gonna be zone or whatever. So you can kind of dictate and kind of cheat on the offensive side of the ball if you have a good coordinator, if you have someone who's strategic and can definitely move pieces around the board and around the field, can help you a little bit if you're a young quarterback, struggling with those things. So overall, man, Drake May to me is a pretty good prospect. The falling, that rumor could be true. I wouldn't be surprised at it when it's all said and done. But as of right now, I still have him firmly as my QB2. And, in my book, he should definitely be in the running for QB1, but it's looking like that might not be in the cards for him this year. It seemed like Caleb Williams or nothing for the Bears. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.